Mr. Absolute Legend of whatever year his song came out. This man is what you define as a one-hit wonder, but like, I still love all his music. I still listen to all his music, regardless if he's literally known for one song. But Mr., I don't even think people know him for his like name. Like, I know him because I stan Psy. But people are gonna be like, who? And basically, who I'm talking about is Mr. Gangnam Style. Oh, that year, whatever year that was that Gangnam Style came out, I'm not kidding you when I told you I was like, Gaga, who? Riri, who? Like, I was like, it's all about Mr. Gangnam Style. Whoo. Psy was announced to host the LMFAOOO's that one year where he was literally known for Gangnam Style. He was literally, when I tell you, my number one priority because my dad loved Psy. I love Psy. Like, everybody knew what Gangnam Style was. So I was like, okay, if I meet Psy, then obviously everybody's gonna know who that was. And it's like, okay, like George met literal Gangnam Style. And it's like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to try hotel, nor am I going to try airport. I feel like it's going to be easy to get him around the Much Music building where the LMFAOOO's are taking place because he's going to be there literally 24/7 for the next 3 days, rehearsing, practicing his lines, practicing his performance, choreography. Like, he was going to be a busy damn Gangnam Style man. So I was like, you know what, let me try and just go to the building and let me see if I could just maybe perhaps get him either leaving or going into the building. I get to the building and he's going in. He kind of just like does like a little wave and I was like, okay, like, that's it. And I was like, you know what, I'll try for him when I come back. So I went into the front and I was kind of watching him rehearse. I remember there was this blow up balloon of him. And I remember he took the microphone because I was watching him rehearse this. They had to get the balloon prepared to see if it would go up. Imagine live TV, like the balloon doesn't go up and it's just kind of like flat, like. So while he was doing it, he was like, he takes the mic, he was like, nobody record this when the balloon was going to be like up, like lifted up into the damn air during his performance. Nobody record this, it's going to be a surprise for live television. Like, he did not want it going all over Twitter, he did not want it going all over Instagram because he wanted people's initial reaction when the award show was going on. And I'm like looking, I'm like, okay, no offense, like, yeah, you're big, Gangnam Style, like, everyone's gonna be watching because, like, true. At the same time, it's a balloon. You're not bringing out Gaga, you're not bringing out Taylor, you're not bringing out Selena, so it's not that much of a surprise. People aren't gonna look on Twitter and be like, oh, a balloon. He, like, gets off, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go check the back because he's nowhere to be found on stage. So I go to the back and I'm just kind of like lingering around and there was like a good amount of fans. I would say maybe like 20 to 30 people, but keep in mind, people just kind of like stand at the barricades across the street of the back of this building because there's so many people coming in and out rehearsing, right? I don't think anybody was like they knew of him, but nobody was like a stan like I was at the time. And I see him walking down the stairs of the stage that lead into the car area to pick him up where he dips. And I'm at the barricades, right? I'm like across the street. I saw him and everybody's kind of like, yeah. Like, people are calling for him. They're like, Psy, but nobody's going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as if Lady Gaga came out. Nobody's in that kind of like mood. Like, aside from me, he comes out. I'm like, king. I was like, Psy, legend, like Gangnam Style. And I'm looking at him and he's like smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, Psy, like, come here. I was like, please, like, legend. I'm like a fan. Like, come, like, king. He goes, yeah? He like looks at me, he's like, yeah? And he goes, looks at his like team person, whoever was on his like team manager, or whoever it was, goes, can I? He kind of like pointed like, can I go across the street? And they're like, yeah, go. He's like, and he's like walking across the street. I'm going nuts. Like, I'm going crazy because like he's my priority for this year's LMFAOOO's and everybody else is around is kind of like, oh, cool, like, oh, like Gangnam Style, wow. And I'm literally like, legend, king, like, yeah. So I'm kind of like in the middle, like as if he's like walking straight. I'm kind of in front of him, but maybe just like a couple people over to his left, my right. I'm standing and I'm like, and he's coming and he's signing autographs. So he's like, oh, sorry, he has left hand signing autographs with a cigarette. He's like, no problem. And I look at him, I'm like, oh my God, Psy. And I know he's pretty good in English. Like, his English is decent. I'm not sure if he fully maybe understood my sentences because maybe I was talking like too fast and like maybe I was just like literally looking like I looked psychotic. But I was like, oh my God, Psy, like I was like, I have been wanting to meet you this whole damn year. I was like, I'm so happy that you're here and like you're my king and like you are my legend and I love you and I love my kingdom. Look at him and I was like, do you mind if we get a picture? He's already at my side. Like, he's like going kind of down the line and he comes to me. He's like literally now at this point, literally like in front of me, like 2 centimeters. Like I'm like this, he's like that. And I'm literally like, can we please take like a cute selfie? I was like, you are my favorite artist. And he looks at me, he's like, in my face. I'm like, oh, Is that a yes? He goes, no, I'm smoking. I was puzzled. I was confused. I was literally like, no, I wasn't shook, but I was like, but it's a selfie. Like, I'm not asking you to like put it up to your mouth and like smile with it. Like, I'm literally, like, you could either put it down or like, I was so like confused. I was like, maybe it's like an excuse of him not wanting to take pictures. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, as he's blowing in my face, like, and I'm like, yeah, like, am I getting my picture or damn not? Do you know what I say? I said something. I wasn't shady, but I was like, you could put out your cigarette. Like, I was like put it out, like whatever. Like, I'm a fan. He goes, oh, okay. Literally without hesitation, this man was like, I didn't realize it was that easy to get him to just like throw out the cigarette. He goes, tosses it to the side. He's like, let's pose. Because I was the only one asking really for pictures. Like, I mean, people afterwards were asking for pictures, but like, I was the one who initiated this, right? Nobody cared for him. So and I think he knew that because I was the only one chanting, cheering, telling him I stand, telling him I love him. I was the only one asking for a selfie. I don't do autographs. Like, I'm not selling that stuff. Like, what am I gonna do? Hang like a picture of like Gangnam Style on my wall? No. And then he's like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, literally so cool. I went from literally blowing smoke in my face, like, to like, no, I can't take a selfie because I'm holding a cigarette, to me being like, well, can you toss it out, buddy? And then we take our selfie. So then I look at him and I was like, thank you, I can't wait for the performance. He's like, did you watch rehearsal? Like, he was like trying to like see if I was out front. And I was like, absolutely, king. And I was like, I love the balloon. He's like, yeah, like that's gonna be the best part. I was like, can't wait. I'll watch it on TV. After that, I literally like get out of the crowd and everybody's like, oh my god, like you got your moment. Like I was like, oh, like I love him, but like that's not my like moment. My moment is this woman here. Anyways, this is coming to the end of my video. For anybody who's watching me, if anybody's ever darn tuned in watching me, I'll talk to y'all in the next video. TTYLs.